welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I'm making a card that has a theme of love, and I'll be participating in a Visual International Blog Hop. So look for my project on the International Visual Blog Hop. I'm using Lift Me Up stamp set from Stampin' Up! And Up and Away Thinlits dies. And these two items are set to premiere in the Occasions catalog in 2017. I believe it's January 4th. So keep your eyes out for this really great stamp and die set. There's also a pack of paper that is available as a celebration item, and it has a lot of themes that coordinate with the stamps and dies. There are like backing pieces for the balloon dies. There are background pieces for card making that coordinate with the theme of a hot air balloon. It's really a nice paper to work with. So I'm using a piece of paper from this pack that has a mint macaron sky with some white clouds. My card base is made of smoky slate, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I have layers of white, designer paper, then basic gray, and I'm finishing up with white on the top. To do the stamping today, I'm using Sweet Sugar Plum ink and Smoky Slate ink. I am choosing to use the Sweet Sugar Plum because my card has a theme, and I want to try to make the portion of the card that carries the theme through. I want that to be what the eye is drawn to. So I'm choosing to do my stamping in a neutral color that will coordinate with all of the rest of the colors in the project. And that's why I chose to use gray as a very neutral base. I'm also going to stamp the balloon in gray because I do like the balloon, but I don't want the balloon to take center stage on this card. I will be making plenty of other cards with these balloons because they are really cool. I can see a lot of possibilities with the hot air balloon dies and with the just the stamps that are so intricate. They're really nice. So I chose to use it looks like maybe it's a cloud that says love. I'm not really sure, but I know that I do like it. And I'm stamping that in Sweet Sugar Plum. I am making sure that I stamp some of the images, such as the clouds and the hearts and the balloon. I'm stamping them to where they do appear like part of them are not inside the card. And the reason I'm doing that is to kind of carry through the look of the card, bring a bit of depth to the visual perspective of the card. And I'm also going to take two pieces and die cut, and when I apply them to the card, they will hang off of the card on each side. So I'm going to be using the Big Shot die cutting machine, and because I used two different images, I can cut these at the same time, and that's always a time saver for me. The dies work really well in this set. To attach my layers, I will be using snail adhesive. I could use liquid glue, but to be honest with you, sometimes the snail is just a little bit faster. The only drawback that I see in my crafting is that I'm not always really great with putting the cardstock down as straight as it could be. So liquid glue would assist in that way if I wanted to use liquid glue. As I'm attaching all of the layers, then I'm keeping in mind that I want to try to center everything, and I'm deciding if I want to have one section that is raised up on dimensionals or two. And what I came up with is just having the center panel of the card raised on dimensionals. So I'm choosing to use the Stampin' Dimensionals from Stampin' Up, and they're a really nice low profile foam adhesive. I like the way they raise the card up to give the shadow and dimension, but they don't put it so high to where I'm not going to be able to fit this in an envelope, or that it's going to be too bulky to really mail very well. So I'm using a little bit more of the dimensionals to make the balloon stand out from the card. And I'm also making sure that it's hanging off of the center panel a little bit. The same thing goes on the heart that is in the upper right hand corner. And I wanted that to appear as if it were kind of floating up out away from the rest of the card. For the sentiment, I'm using a piece of scrap, and it's the same white cardstock, the thick whisper white, and I stamped from the stamp set Lift Me Up. I used the sentiment that says love is in the air, and I thought that would coordinate well with the heart theme, with the theme of love. I chose to just cut a fishtail into the banner, and I'm using some white baker's twine to make a very simple bow. I wanted to use something to kind of grab the eye and add a little bit of texture to the surface of the card. I will be adding some sparkly clear sequins. Of course, if you follow my channel, you know that there's a lot of sparkly clear sequins in my projects. So I will add those, and I think that the bow, the twine is really thin, and it just adds just a little bit more texture to the card, being as the balloon and the heart are raised already. I don't want to take the eye away from those things by bringing all the attention down to the sentiment. And I'll be using foam adhesive to also raise that sentiment up just a little bit. I think that clear rhinestones would also be nice on this card, and I'm sure that you have your own special crafty ideas that would work really great on this project. Thank you for joining me for this video, and I invite you over to my blog at jennystampsup.com, where you'll receive daily card making inspiration.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.